Right, welcome back. Last time, well, we didn't do exactly that much. Well, okay, maybe a bit. Teched up to 48, grabbed humanist ideas in order to specifically reduce the problems with rebellions. They're not gone, but it's a lot easier to handle now, thankfully. And also upgraded to corporate law, which improves commerce, production, increases space consultation so the burgers are happier, and I get some tax income from them again, automatically, from their commerce income. Which is helpful. Quite helpful. However, the aristocrats are still pretty unhappy. I'm not sure if I'm going to lower my already bad legitimacy to appease them, or... Well, I'm probably not going to do that. As I said, my legitimacy is already bad enough as it is. Anything more might cause serious problems down the line. There's also the fact that Saint Dominique is trying for independence and is the first of the colonial nations to try that. I'm waiting and watching to see what happens. Could be interesting. Because an independent colonial nation is better than a colonial nation subservient to Europeans. Or someone else, anyway. At the very least, I can conquer them without having any trouble from their overlords. However, they might end up picking up allies, which could be annoying. And okay, this is better to deal with than trying to have to go inland. Or better put easier to deal with than trying to go inland. Don't think I even should bother with trying a long command. It's low on morale because of recently drilling, so it's just gonna cancel the movement order once it gets below a certain level of morale, which is basically certain to happen. So drilling leaves you at just above the cutoff point for not being able to move anymore. But a victory also raises morale. So, okay, now it should be safe to set up a long movement order. Think about it, I might want to set up more fortifications. That would help with a variety of things, including, well, it would help with maintaining, where is it? There it is, okay. Help with maintaining army tradition as well as lowering unrest, because that's actually another effect. In fact, I probably should activate all. Most of these aren't particularly high ranks though. Modern castle. Oh, it's rank 4 here. Good on them. I'm just gonna ignore upgrading castles until later, though. Actually building high-level castles, though, that's something I should do. This is a good spot. This is a good spot just because it's connected to a bunch of random provinces in here. So this here. Honestly, intersections among the inland provinces, are a good idea. Yeah, I think that's good enough for now. I gotta keep an eye on my treasury. Among other things, just in case something silly happens with my income and it drops again. I mean, things are improving, yes, but let's not cause more trouble than necessary. Would you pause? Keyboards sometimes have nuisance. Okay. Sometimes when tapping in or out of the game no longer recognizes keyboard input. It gets annoying after a while. Ah, and the annexation is complete. Excellent. I don't need the army. I'd much rather disassemble it. The ships, on the other hand, that's useful. Right, let's have you... well, first I need to see what everyone's doing. Okay. Okay. Where would it be useful to have more trade power? I basically control Mexico. Oh yes, definitely. Though more could be useful. Panama node is a very definite yes. California node is nigh absolute. The Far East is a different story. I have very little power here. It would be nice to have more money headed this way. On the other hand, I'm also fourth on the list. It's mainly Ming and Korea because Ming has this territory up here, and Korea is, well, basically everything important. So, as a result, I think I should actually send some ships that way. Plus, I should be able to take a safe route. Or safe-er route. Yeah, Far East, I guess. I guess I'll send you to the Far East as well. I have no reason to do otherwise. I also want to see what my name looks like now. I think it shifted slightly, but it's still difficult to tell. I'm sure when I annex Tlaxcala, it's going to stretch even further, because now it's an unbroken band, instead of having a subject in the middle. However, I am worried about my religious unity. Well, that might take a while to update. Oh well, 73% is still pretty good. That's a high point of investment into property maintenance. So things have things gotten at least better? Nope. Not by much. Property expenses are still outrageously high, but at least income from property is increased. I bet the grain door was increased too. Oh wait, it's entirely possible that I inherited a bunch of state industry that was unprofitable. From Colima. Oh yeah, it's entirely possible. I would have to find a high dev province to be sure. Isn't Colima one of the highest dev in the area anyway? That I conquered? Probably. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be much state property. Well, that could change in the future. Oh well. Probably should eventually put these into the auto investor too. But that's something that can be done later. So yeah, I've gone ahead and annexed Colima. I'm not sure the name stretching has changed much. I'm sure it will change when I annex Tlaxcala because having a green blob in the middle of my country is going to have some effects on the name stretching. Yeah. Oh right, I should state these. Well, the new ones. Since they're not going to... well, it was one new state. Okay. Since I may as well, as most of these are. Honestly, perfectly fine. So yeah. That was... So yeah, annex Colima. France is no longer a valid rival. Hasn't been for a while. I've also hit rank 2 on the Great Powers list. Excellent. I've also sent some ships to protect trade over here in the Far East. Which is why I now have 52% of the trade. Wow, I was not expecting it to be that much of an effect. I might have to do something similar over here in the Pacific. That would be fun. I mean, my fleet is mainly for trade, I admit that. As much, anyway. Oh, and in other interesting news, Saint Domingue has become independent. And they immediately went and allied with England. And now, they're helping England against English Brazil, who's also trying for their independence. Isn't nature wonderful? Yeah. A couple provinces got converted. This one managed to convert back. Why? It always seems to be by such a large amount when it occurs. Is someone next to me sending missionaries or something in? Because that's the only thing I can think of. Specifically, probably Louisiana, because they happen to be Calvinist. I wish I could just walk in, but France is... well, strangely enough, they still have a ton of war exhaustion. Huh. I mean, I've been busy, so I wasn't paying that much attention. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, I could probably, yeah, promote a faction or something. I mean, I'm not particularly interested in doing too many things with reforms. Oh, right. Those are the only two options left. I just need a certain amount of bureaucratic influence, and honestly, should be fine. Yeah, let's just promote the aristocratic faction. The gentry will like that. Keep in mind, they're no longer called nobility, they're now called gentry. Sort of. Some names don't change, others do. It's great. Probably not smart to provide tax relief, since I'm actually getting tax money, even if it's minimal. And my income isn't doing too great at the moment, what with property expenses having skyrocketed. I'm not even entirely sure what property. I've also been working on fortifications, although they're not done yet. That's going to take a while. A long while. 1781. Yeah. And that's quite a while, at least considering how long things tend to take. Plus, the positioning is a little bit off. Here we have the irrigation, here we have the garrisons, and here's the pathing infrastructure. Oh, and here's the harborage. Yeah, it's a bit silly. But with all this, I can improve my gain of army tradition, and high enough, I could actually have it stick to 100. So that's going to take a lot of high-level forts, because I have 2,400 development, and in order to get the full effects of good fortifications, well, you know, fortification buildings, not garrisons, actual, defensive buildings, fortresses and whatnot, you need to have one for every 50 development in your country. That's a lot. 50 development. So I would need 48. Not to mention that 16, so I would actually need 49. And they would all have to be max level too. If they're not max level, they only count for half. And currently, I have 16 forts. And I'm sure a decent quantity of those aren't actually in that manner. Still, it does help with unrest. Let's see, minus 0.46, and here it's plus 0.12. So I'm just going to presume that having all the forts that you need lowers unrest by, well, so 1/8 of the full effect is currently being felt now. Or approximately. So multiply that by 8 and you get 4. So minus 4 unrest. That's actually pretty good considering how much things affect other things, how little of an effect most things have on unrest. As for actual revolt, yeah, it's just Louisiana and separatists. The variation is pretty normal. I've come to expect it. And let's see, well, Aragon's in debt trouble. But that's it. Not enough trouble. It's also interesting that, well, it's 1777 by now. And there's still a couple native nations fully independent. There's Muisca and Karanga. And that's the ones that I know for certain. There might be some others hidden around in here. Oh, there's also Nazca. There might be some others hidden around in here, but I doubt that. Also, for some reason, England owns this province on their own. It's probably a combination of, yeah, it's in colonial Peru, that's why. Oh well. And there's really nothing else to say anything about. I haven't been paying too much attention to what's been going on here. Looks like Livonia took a few more Lithuanian provinces. And Novosibirsk is gone again. Yay! We're short-lived. Yeah, really, I've got nothing. I mean, corruption's going down. Provincial corruption's going up, which is less good, but state corruption going down is a positive. Oh wait, no, actually it's going down. Probably because of improving autonomy. I believe I can do the anti-corruption measure to recall corrupt officials. But I'm currently having some minor stability issues, so maybe wait on that? I'm not sure. I mean, the societal instability will expire in February of 1780. And that came from corporate law, yeah. I'm also not planning on any major reforms for a while. I don't think I can get free peasantry anytime soon, and the amount of effort it would take to get this going up to freeholding, that's going to be difficult. At the very least, noble power is reducing, but it's not reducing nearly as quickly as I would hope for it to. They also have a heck of a lot of money. And any attempt to reduce their power is going to be difficult. Plus, the resource share is actually pretty minimal. Maybe not among the factions, but in general, the amount of property they own is actually pretty small. The main thing is that they have mostly rural properties, of which they're third. Second is the bureaucrats of the state itself, and first is the lower class with an entire 41%. Freeholding is actually pretty common, so heck, if we go to urban property share, first is the lower class at 38%, second is the clergy with 24%, and then third is tied between bureaucrats and burghers. Gentry have just 6%. Yeah, nobles. I'm going to be going between nobles and gentry over and over again because apparently the idea of the name changing to gentry has not actually properly been implemented everywhere. At least not on the version I'm playing. there's been at least a few updates over the months to the alpha. I have stopped updating because it's because the updates changed the version, and that's probably going to break more than one save. Or, well, break the save more than one way anyway. No, don't worry, once the campaign is done, I'll be updating at the very least the next time I do an M&T campaign. Though I will also say this, Victoria 3. Yeah. That will be coming as soon as I can manage it. Anyway, I'll see you again next time. Until then, bye.